you are asking for a wish. You have this card that says shooting star. What you've wished for is coming true. You have this lighthouse. It says you're a light that can't be hidden, so don't ever try to dim it for anyone. So we're going to ask what is coming true for you. We're going to do past, present, future because I feel like it. And that's what we're going to do. So clearly something you're wishing that something could be true is kind of what I feel here. You start in your past position with the Tower, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Five of Wands. The Tower is exactly where we want it in the past. So, and I kind of feel these two look the same. You know, in a lot of ways, a lighthouse kind of is a tower. And so maybe you have been dimming your light, and for you to get a wish, you have to let your light out. I almost feel like that's what this reading is going to be talking about. It's like there's a reality to a situation. Now, one thing I will say, this just popped into my head. This is kind of like cheating a little bit because we had Neptune and Pisces, and what I'm about to say is very Neptune and Pisces. Even though we have Neptune and Aries right now, doesn't matter. I feel that with Neptune and Pisces, the fantasy, whatever our fantasy is about life, doesn't matter. It always becomes more attractive than the reality. And it's not actually true that the reality is not as attractive to us. It's just that we build up a fantasy. We become attracted to the fantasy of whatever we're dreaming about. And clearly you've been wishing for something if this reading is for you. And so the Tower is kind of a good thing because these people have been fantasizing. They've been ignoring reality. And the whole point of the card is that the universe is bringing them down to reality so they can do something about, you know, whatever it is that they want. In this case, it could be a wish or something where you have to kind of like escape the tower to make it a reality. You have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is about your investment. You know, in a lot of ways, I feel this reading is for people who have already spent a lot of time investing in things. I almost feel like I get a feeling like the Hermit should have shown up in this reading as well. We are going to clarify it, so, you know, we'll see what comes up, but it just is kind of giving me Hermit vibes. The thing about the Hermit is he's been on a long journey. He has gone through a dark night of the soul. And like I kind of also feel this first row is saying don't quit now when you're super close to a finish line. It's like, you know, I feel a lot of you, this wish, which again, we're probably going to discover here in a minute, is probably something that you've wanted for a long time. And you know, let's just pretend it's love. I'm not saying it is love, but you know, if you've been through a bunch of bad relationships, but you have wished for a good one, you know, at a certain point, like the Hermit, you've been going through a dark night of the soul, you've been learning these lessons, but it can be hard to want to do it again, right? And the Seven of Pentacles, he's looking at the investment that he's already made into something. You know, Seven of Pentacles is my card that says, is the juice worth the squeeze? You know, he's wondering, is it worth it for me to invest my time, effort, energy, attention into something again, or am I just going to get the same result that I got the last time? And I feel because of this, you are conflicted. We have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands can be conflict and competition, but I also believe it can be feeling conflicted on the inside about what to do with your life or what to do next. I do feel like some of you are about to make a big decision. To be fair, this reading is timeless, but I'm recording this on April 9th, so it'll be published on the 10th of 2026. And again, this will still be for you if it's resonating so far, if you're watching it, you know, 10 years from now. But what I would say is I feel that all this Aries, we're going to have a bunch of Aries energy in April of 2026, especially when we get to the middle of the month, around the 17th, we're going to have the Aries new moon as well. And so it's like the universe is asking us to start something again. But, you know, you could be feeling, like I said, conflicted with the Five of Wands and not sure if you want to start again or not. So let's see. With the Tower, you have the King of Pentacles. Again, the King of Pentacles also isn't necessarily good because he is the card of convention. And so he represents the way things have always been. And he's not necessarily a bad card, but what he could be saying is that you have to start trying something new to get your wish. I do feel like a wish is possible. You know, for some of you, it's kind of weird as well, because it's like popping into my head that for some of you, this is a wish you don't even know that you have. It's like, you know, I don't even know what, like, how to say that, but it's almost like you could have something that you don't know that you could have. This could be, success in life. This could be freedom. It could be love, whatever it is that you're I would normally say whatever it is that you're hoping for, but for some of you, it's like, I think there's something that you don't even know is a possibility for some of you that you could have. But I feel that it's going to require you to break old patterns. We are entering into a time that is a little bit more surprising with Uranus and Gemini. I think a lot of us will make surprising decisions, surprising moves. But I think this is about needing to explore. Again, it's kind of a hard thing to describe, but I think if we just live the same life over and over and over again every single day, we just get the same day over and over and over again. If we start going and having adventures and doing new things and try new things, then we find all sorts of surprises. So I feel like this reading really wants you to be open to surprises. Let's see where this is going. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Swords. This is clarity. Again, you could be getting clear on your desires and what you want out of life, which is good. I am happy to see that Queen of Swords in the past. With the Five of Wands, you have two cards. You have the Four of Wands and the Page of Swords. So this could be marriage or a commitment. Maybe some of you were almost married, or I feel like some of you that I'm reading for were almost married and it didn't work out. Page of Swords can be like a secret admirer as well, and even though it's coming up in the past, again, some of you, this could be love. In your present position, you have the Page of Cups, the Devil, and the Seven of Wands. Page of Cups, like I said, could be an admirer, so there could be love available to some of you. And again, I think you just have to mix up your day. I think you have to get out and do new things in your life to discover this. Page of Cups is also a dream, it can represent having a wish. He has this fish inside this cup here, and that fish might not exist. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. We don't actually know. Some people say it's part of his imagination. What I say is that he needs to bring that fish down to earth. He needs to make sure that it doesn't easily slip away into the water behind him, and he needs to bring it into this reality. So, the first part of the reading is definitely about bringing something into this reality. Next, you have the Devil. I feel weird about this Devil. Devil can represent toxic energy vampires, things like that, bad habits that you need to get rid of. I do feel like your habits need to change. If you want to live a wish-fulfilled life with that first card. But at the same time, the Devil, he can represent trapped creative force. So these people have these animal horns on their heads. And animal horns in the tarot represent baser instincts like root chakra energy. So sometimes I think we have to take that energy from our root and we have to bring it up to our heads and express it into the world. And, it's like, I feel like I'm reading for someone. I don't know, this might only be for one of you, this entire reading. It's like someone's getting a private reading. But, I feel like whoever I'm reading for, that this is saying that really this is not a failure of options in life. I feel it's more that you need to use your creativity more. The King of Pentacles Tower, it's kind of like being stuck in a cycle and thinking that your creative ideas aren't going to work. I do think it is hard sometimes to get started on an idea that is creative, whether you realize it or not, or when you have to use a creative approach. Again, this could be even in love. Like maybe you are in love with a person that doesn't know you, and you might have to get creative to approach that person, right? And so I feel this is like trapped creativity, and we're going to see if it's going to pop out in a second. You have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands, a little bit of a stubborn energy. I do feel like I'm reading, some of you might be stubborn. It's okay. I'm stubborn too, so I'm not calling you out here. But Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. It says when you know that something's for you, it's for you. So that's like the good side of it, but can be a little bit of a stubborn vibe as well. So I think getting creative, trying new approaches to get your wish with that shooting star card would definitely be a good thing to do with the Seven of Wands. Let's see where this is going. With the Page of Cups, I feel like this is about not quitting as well before you even start something. Five of Pentacles is calling attention to your weaknesses. Five of Pentacles has a very easy solution, which is to focus on your strengths, not your weaknesses. As I was saying earlier, it's almost like I'm reading for someone where you don't even realize that you have a wish or something. It's kind of like a weird reading. It's like you don't even realize that something is possible. That would be a wish. Like maybe looking back, if this is, let's pretend it's love. Like maybe looking back in the future, you'll be like, oh my God, I didn't even realize that I was looking for this person all along, right? Like that type of deal is kind of what I'm getting here. but I feel like you need to believe in yourself more. Really, that's all I would focus on with this reading, right? Just putting it all together. I feel like the more you focus on yourself and your own inner strength and building your confidence and things like that, the better. I also think the more experiences you have by like getting out into the world, going and doing new things, trying new things, learning new things, I think that will increase your options here as well, and it will probably, if nothing else, make you more well-rounded. With the devil, you have the lovers. Told ya. So could be love for sure. I think you have to let go of the old story with the devil and the tower. We also go tower, devil to the 10 of swords, which says something is dead, done, over with. So, this to me looks like a good connection, not a devil connection. But I definitely feel that you've been through it. Like I was describing hermit energy a minute ago. The hermit, like I said, it's like when you've climbed to the top of the mountain, it's almost crazy to ask yourself to climb another one. If you've been through a bunch of challenging relationships that were all the devil, for example, it would be crazy for you to say, oh, I'm going to try to date again. Because it's like the hermit is finally done. That's kind of like the energy that I'm getting here. But I also feel it would be very worth it. It's kind of like saying, don't leave your reward on the table. It's like, imagine if you were the hermit that hasn't gotten his reward yet. And the universe is saying, like, don't quit now before you get your reward. With the 7 of Wands, you have the 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands is like too many burdens in life, trying to do too much. So with the 10 of Wands, we have to look at those wands and we have to say, like, which wands do I have to carry and which ones don't I have to carry? And we have to make sure we're not carrying the burdens or the obligations of other people, just our own. And that's what I would do with the 10 of Wands. Also, collective, before we move on to the future, make sure to like, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Really helps me out. You have the 4 of Pentacles, the 3 of Cups, and the 10 of Swords in the future. So again, 4 of Pentacles can be holding on too tightly to the past or holding on to security. So again, I actually feel like this is something that you are not going to want to do here, collective. Again, to me, tarot is not a prison sentence, as I always say. So the reading is saying, as it stands right now, things will stay the same, right? I don't think you are going to want things to stay the same. So it's good that you're listening to this message because, again, I feel if you don't make the changes we talked about, then things are going to stay the same. And obviously there's something that could be a wish that you have to kind of like get out of this reading by taking action, being more creative, also leaving comfort zones as well. Again, very much a kind of like a Groundhog's Day type of reading, which is normally the 9 of Swords. For me, is my card of Groundhog's Day. Where every day is the same, but you have the King of Pentacles, the Tower, the 10 of Swords. It's like, time, the 10 of Wands, the 7 of Wands, right? The 4 of Pentacles. These are all cards of holding on too tightly to the past or like living the same story. He's living the same story because the city he's from is right behind him. And he's afraid of branching out because he's afraid that he's going to lose these 4 pentacles. But really, 4 pentacles isn't much to lose in the first place. So he's worried about losing something that isn't very much at all. And he has everything to gain. And so that's what I want to tell you in this reading. Like, you have everything to gain, even some wishes you don't even know you have. And so I would get moving. You have the 3 of Cups. I do feel this is like a little bit of a blessing. This could be other people that are helping you and lifting you up. These 3 ladies are celebrating this harvest that's going on around them. And so there could be a harvest coming in for you in the near future. You have the 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords says something from the past is dead, done, over with. The good news about the 10 of Swords is he's making this symbol with his hand right here. And sorry, I'm losing my voice. And it represents a blessing. And so the 10 of Swords can be a blessing in disguise. And I do feel that releasing the old story, the old life, will be a blessing in disguise for you. With the 4 Pentacles, you have the Devil, again, holding on to the old story and also needing to let your creativity out, like I already said. So I would definitely make sure that you are kind of like letting using your creative force with the Devil. Maybe it would just be a good time for you to go do something creative, like color in a coloring book. I don't care, right? Just get the energy out. This is this right here, with the 10 of Wands. This is like very trapped energy. And so sometimes I think we literally just have to go be creative to exercise that muscle. And, that might lead to some answers. With the 3 of Cups, you have the Page of Wands. Yeah, Page of Wands, this could be the other thing as well, is that the reading is wanting you to socialize. There's something about this King of Pentacles. Like, I feel he needs to get out of the house, or he needs to, go on an adventure. He's just stuck in a routine. And again, the King of Pentacles isn't necessarily a bad card, but he gets stuck in convention. He just does the same thing over and over and over again because he knows he's going to get exactly what he expects if he just keeps living the same story, which is the Four of Pentacles. He's not leaving because he knows what he's going to get from his situation, right? Yeah, with the Ten of Swords, there's a huge opportunity in front of you in letting something from the past go or letting a past story or past situation basically die with that Ten of Swords, and also in moving towards a new opportunity with the Ace of Pentacles. So, I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say that this is easy, but I do feel it's like your path to a wish you don't even know that you have, or path to a life you didn't even know you could create, right? So I would get moving here. We might do a follow-up on this one. I've never done a follow-up on a collective, but we might with this one to see what else we can get. But anyway, that will be linked up down below if I do. And obviously, if you're watching this on the day I publish it, you're going to have to wait till tomorrow. But anyway, thank you for being here. Make sure to drop a like and leave a comment. And definitely enjoy your week.